By the way, one of my best friends just moved in across from me. He's got borderline personality disorder too, and he's one crazy motherfucker. So occasionally you'll hear, you know, walking around, using the bathroom. So if you hear anybody like whizzing when I'm filming a video, you know why. Man's got a very good prostate. You could hear his pee from a mile away. And he's from Colorado, so he's got that Mile High Stadium shit going for him. Yeah, I try to surround myself around borderline personality sort of people, complex PTSD people, because they're fucking awesome. And they understand you, you get them, all that shit. Yeah, last night I did this was like really fucking crazy ass video with a lantern. If it was too scary for you to watch, let me sum this shit up now. Video 104, when I was talking about getting into like fights or petty things, or like somebody that you're dating like not doing it for you, or you you feel like neglected in small ways, or you just you feel like that person doesn't love you, or they're not giving you the attention that you need, or they're not giving you the love that you need. That's when you talk to that person. Or if they're not doing something, like they're not helping you out in the kitchen, they're not helping out with chores, they're just fucking falling short in every way. That's when you talk to them personally. You don't go to your friends or your family. However, if they are abusive, if they're controlling, if they're neglectful, like severely neglectful, if they're manipulating you, or if they're gaslighting you, just fucking leave them. Like, don't even fucking bother talking to them. And go to your friends, go to your family, tell them, open up, be courageous enough to speak out, speak up, tell your friends, tell your family what they're doing to you. Go to the authorities, go to the police, go to counseling, go to therapy, and get the fuck away from them as soon as goddamn possible. The abusive person, or the controlling person, the manipulative person, or the person that's causing you severe neglect and gaslighting, just fucking leave them. And I've talked on this channel, and definitely speak the fuck up and talk to other people. Don't even fucking bother your time wasting to that guy. Don't even fucking spend your time wasting your time talking to that person, because they're not worth it. Just walk away and move on with your life. Seriously. Also, I've talked about in my previous videos about why we stick with those people, those type of abusive, controlling people. And a lot of it, a great portion of it is because we were raised in these type of families where we were abused and controlled, or manipulated, or gaslighted, or put down so severely that it's familiar to us. So we just put up with it, and we keep running back. And we don't feel like we could leave. Or we feel like maybe we deserve to be treated that way. Or it's so familiar to us, we don't think there's anything wrong with it. I once had this one friend, and this was really fucked up. And me and my sister discussed it, and we were both like, what in the fuck? And neither one of us understood this. And me and my sister, my sister and I, we're both high school English teachers. We should know better. I should know better. My sister and I, we had this really good friend that was really having this fucked up relationship with her husband. And he was so fucked up. Like, his whole shit was causing drama. And like, treating everybody in the family, and her especially, like absolute shit. And you could just tell, like, this person, whatever the fuck it was, there was just something wrong, right? And one day, my sister and I, we were sitting in the car, we were driving, and through Georgia, and Georgia, the state, not the country, and we were talking about this guy, and then we started talking about the family he came from, because we knew his family. We knew the family he grew up in. And his family, he came from like this weird fucking divorced home, and like it was like a fucking drama family where they just made up shit, or they needed to make up shit just to entertain themselves, and like they just like geeked out on like fucking like talking shit about each other and doing all this other crazy ass shit. And my sister and I were like, if a person is raised in a really fucked up family where drama and talking shit about each other is the way, and that's what they enjoy doing, and that's the norm, that's normal to them, or if they're like, if they come from an abusive family that's emotionally abusive or puts each other down, like, that's normal. That's the norm. So when those children, when those individuals grow up and they enter their own relationships and they get married, they're going to treat whoever they're with, their new wife or their new husband, exactly like the way they were treated as a child, in childhood, being raised in that family that was abusive and toxic and just fucked up and drama city, right? So note to fucking self, right? Do yourself a goddamn huge favor. Never date anybody that has those symptomatic fucking like family lineage. And if you do, like those fucked up, families, and if you do, you gotta have a heart to heart with them and talk to them immediately, before you even date them, and be like, okay, listen, like I know your family's really fucked up, and that's the norm for your family, and you grew up in that norm, so now you're probably gonna think you could treat me that way. Do yourself a fucking huge favor, and work on yourself first and heal before you enter this relationship. If you are still in that state, if you still are like, if you think that's the norm of how you should treat other individuals and other people, because I ain't gonna put up with your shit, and I ain't gonna deal with that. I ain't gonna deal with that kind of abuse or put downs or drama, whatever the fuck it is. I try so hard not to make this like some kind of fucking weird fucking advice goddamn fucking channel, but when you've experienced so much shit and you've been around so many fucked up individuals, like you learn what to stay the fuck away from. Hurt. So yeah, man, I hope you can tell I've spent too much time in Georgia. Just joking, all you Georgia people, all you Georgia fans out there. Yeah, I started this fucking like stupid ass TikTok channel because I'm like, fucking, I'm bored. Might as well do some stupid ass shit. Yeah, I kind of feel like a goddamn sellout though, because it's so fucking stupid, But like, it's like, well, I'm not saying TikTok's stupid. I don't know anything about it yet. I haven't even fucking looked it up. But I don't know. Like my friend, like one of my best friends, Dr. S, his daughter's into it, and like she says it's cool. So like usually I listen to her advice because she's a cool motherfucker. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot, because I already make like fucking like YouTube videos and they're fucking chill ass shit. So like, I'll check out this fucking TikTok shit. So, don't think I'm a fucking sellout. I'm just fucking bored. I ain't got nothing else to do. Fuck it. Yeah, man. So I hope y'all are having a good day, I hope y'all are having a good day. Yeah, let me tell you a stupid ass story, man. Right? So I'm at this fucking like stupid ass fucking like cigar bar. I'm hanging out with like my buddy Dr. S, and we're like, doing all this shit, running around town. He's got business stuff to do, and he comes to my house and he's like, yo, man, like, like, da da da. I'm like, yeah, man, I'll like roll around town with you doing business deals and shit like that. I don't give a fuck. So we like go all the way like 45 minutes away from my house, and Steve's like doing business deals. So he's got like his work polo on and his like short khakis and short. I don't want you to think he's like a short khaki guy. There ain't nothing wrong with short khakis, and he's got his sandals on. And the way I roll is I usually just like, I just roll with like a fucking like t-shirt, fucking like workout pants and fucking like usually like Nikes or fucking whatever. And usually when he goes in and fucking does his business transactions, I just like go out like shirtless because I like not wearing shirts. I don't know why, man. I really fucking hate shirts. Hence the reason why I don't wear shirts in my video. I just don't fucking like shirts. It's not because I'm trying to sell my body to you. And usually when he goes off to do business transactions, I just like walk a couple like like walk to the next parking lot or some shit, and I just like pee next to a fucking dumpster. Whatever, man. I don't give a fuck. I do what I want. Carmen, South Park. So yeah, man. I mean, like, so we're fucking doing all this business shit, and then on the way home, we were gonna go meet my buddy Dr. N at like some cool ass fucking bar that I really like, and Dr. N is just like, nah, like I can't. I got like some shit to do. So me and Dr. S are like, all right, fuck it. So Dr. S is like, well, there is a cigar bar that I wanted to check out. I've heard things about it, so, and I want to start smoking cigars. I'm like, all right, whatever, let's hit it up. So I walk into this fucking cigar bar. As soon as I walk in, like, I immediately see people that, like are dressed, like, towing fucking really nice. And I'm looking at the place, and it's, like, kind of like one of these rich fucking places. Because it's in, like, one of the richest towns in Florida. I mean, like, I'm not fucking with you. Like, if you go by, like, wealth rate to town size, it's, like, one of the richest fucking cities in fucking Florida. It's right up there with, like, Boca Raton, fucking, West Palm, and, like, Naples and all that other shit. I hate those fucking towns, man. God damn it, man. I stand, that's, like, everything I stand against. Like, seriously. So, like, we walk into the goddamn bar, and immediately I'm like, oh, man, it's one of these fucking places, right? I should have known better. All those cigar bars, they're, like, ugh, god damn it, man. It's just, like, if you walk in and you don't look like you have money, they immediately don't respect you. It's, like, such bullshit, man. It's like Tyler Durden would fucking burn that place to the fucking ground. I should have as well. Ha! No, just fucking with you. I ain't gonna burn you down, cigar bar. Don't fucking worry about it. You just fucking got the wrong fucking concept of life. So, like, fucking, you just fucking judge people, and you fucking think that, if people don't have money or if they don't look a certain way, okay, so let me finish the story, right? So, me and Dr. S, we grab beers, and we head in the other room, and then we head back in, like, the main room. And now we're talking to the bartender and somebody wearing, like, a Columbia. He was obviously, like, a grad of Columbia. And, I was chatting him up. I'm from Long Island. He was from, like, the Bronx. So, so then, like, I started to notice something. And we were talking to those two people, the bartender and the guy with the Columbia shirt on, the Columbia University shirt on, for about 20 minutes. In those 20 minutes, Dr. S looks like he has fucking money. He's got the polo, like aqua polo. He's got the short khakis. He's got the sandals. He's got hair. He's got, like, really expensive sunglasses on. And he's got, like, the fucking, like, trimmed ass beard, right? I am in, like, a fucking t-shirt. I am in, like, fucking gym shorts. Just sandals that I threw on to go on the trip. Right? And I look like this. Fucking grubbalicious, baby. Because I ain't into fucking impressing people. I ain't got time for that shit, like a famous black woman said. And what I noticed, in those 20 minutes, they gave all their eye contact to Dr. S for about 88% of the time. And they gave me their eye contact about 12% of the time in the 20 minutes. So they were, like, so focused on Dr. S because he looked like he had money. Because we were in an establishment where if you go there, the more money you look like you have, the more accepted you are. And I wouldn't even be talking because I'd be like, they're clearly not interested in me at all. Because even when they were speaking, the two people, they wouldn't be like making dual eye contact with me and Dr. S. They would be talking to Dr. S, like I didn't even exist. And then every once in a while they would like look at me, and then they would continue talking to Dr. S for 4 minutes, and then they would look at me, and it was like, I think the reason why they were looking at me is because like God or creation made them feel guilty because they were abusing another human, right? And like every once in a while, like God or creation or existence kicked into their subconscious and it said, listen, motherfucker, like, even though you're obsessed with money and shit, this is still another being of creation. And you are not giving them any love or any attention at all because you're so obsessed with money and the dark side that, like, you are, like, not even valuing a being or giving proper love or attention to a being just because you're focused on money, possessions, and clothing. Like, how dare you? And I think that when the how dare you that came from creation or existence hit the subconscious of these people that were being super fucking judgmental, they would shift and look at me for like maybe 2 seconds and then shift back to Dr. S. And I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, I've never had that happen to me before. Ever. Well, because I don't go to those fucking places. There's a goddamn reason for it. And it's like, holy fuck. Like, and when I laughed, I felt awful. And the reason why you feel that terrible feeling is because you don't feel love. The reason why you feel that terrible feeling is because you feel like you feel rejected, or you feel like people don't accept you, or you feel like people don't value you, and you're not being seen or heard. That's why you have that awful feeling inside sometimes. And when I left, I just like felt bad. I didn't even fucking drink the beer. I had like one sip, and I poured it down the fucking like drain in the bathroom. I filled that shit up, washed it out, filled it up with water. It was the most expensive $8 beer that I've had in my life ever. And those places are fucking wicked expensive because they only like cater to people that have money. God forbid they sell beer for $5. So when we left, I was talking to Dr. S in the car, and I was like, Dr. S, I'm like, those people really fucking loved you, man. Like, fucking insanely. And he's like, yeah, man, like, they were, like, really gravitating towards me. I'm like, did you notice that they were looking at you for about 88% of the time that we were with them, and they only looked at me for about 11 or 12% of the time that we were there with them? And he's like, yeah, he's like, I did notice that. And he's like, and when you went to the bathroom before, like, we started talking to them, like, the guy was, like, asking me if I was married, and he, like, was asking me if, like, I wanted to meet his, like, daughter and shit. And I was like, yeah, that's because you look like you have money. And it's like, did he ask me if I was married? Or if, you know, like, did he talk to me about his daughter? No. I fucking hate America, dude. I want to burn it to the fucking ground. And for all you people that are about to leave a fucking message on my fucking, like, blah, 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 and say, like, fuck you, man, America rules. That's cool, you can think that. But do yourself a huge favor. Before you, like, make that claim, jump outside of this country for a couple of years, and then come back. You know, one of the greatest things that ever happened to literature, ever, was a bunch of authors, a bunch of writers left America, and they went to Paris because living in Paris was cheap and it was really hip. And Hemingway, Fitzgerald, among the two. Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby, and a couple other writers from America. They went over there to Paris, and they lived in Paris for a while. And that is when they created their great works, or had the ideas to create their great works. Because once they jumped out of America, once they left their home, they realized what their home was all about. And it changed their concept of writing and their concept of what America was. So you might think America's fucking great and hunky-dory and shit, but once you leave for a few years, like Hemingway and Fitzgerald did and myself did, you'll come back and you'll be like, oh shit, man, this place is shallow as fuck. All they care about is money and looks and materialistic shit and buying things and comfort and the easy button and wanting things easy and fast and comfort and easy and fast and how good looking you are and how much money you have and what you possess and what kind of car you drive and what kind of house you live in and what kind of clothes you're wearing, what kind of dog you have, where you shop, who you spend time with. It's all a fucking game, man. This country is a goddamn huge fucking game. And, you know, this country has its pluses. This country is pretty cool, but, you know, I think, you know, you also have to think about, you know, jumping outside the box every once in a while and realize, like, what this country is all about. It's extremely important. And how this country makes you feel, especially if you're borderline, bipolar, clinically depressed, or you have complex PTSD. Because this country might make you feel a lot worse than you are feeling right now. When I lived in Thailand for 11 months. In those 11 months, I did not suffer from depression at all, or anxiety, or agoraphobia, or fear of other people. And when I came home and I directly went to the mental institution because when I landed back in America, I wanted to like gun down the MCO Orlando airport, and I wanted to kill everybody in the airport. And at first it was just the adults, you know. I just wanted to kill all the people that were adult. I didn't want to kill the children. I just wanted to kill the men and the women. I just wanted to gun down, get as many machine guns as possible, and just hose down as many people as I could, just kill as many people as possible. This was like back in 2017, I think. And I was living in the Orlando airport for like 3 days because I like airports and I just wanted to live there for a while. And I didn't want to leave there. And because I was just observing the people. And I think I was kind of like comparing them to the Thai people and how like the Thai people were like so loving and they were so focused on family and the right things. And then I started to think about like how fucking deranged the white people were and how I just wanted to slaughter all of them. So then I started to think about like how I could get guns and how I could get as many guns as possible. How I could get machine guns. And I was in a big city, so I probably could. And I was like, and I have a perfect record. I've never been arrested. Perfect driving record, too. And I was like, I could get as many guns as I want. And I'm like, and then I started like thinking about just like killing all these people, and I started visualizing it. And I was like sitting there for like a few hours thinking about this, visualizing killing everybody. And then I was like, yeah, you know, like I'll just kill all the people, but I'll have to aim high and like save all the children. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, you know what, Joe? Those kids are just gonna fucking grow up and be just like those fucking people. They're all those fucking little kids. They're gonna be just like those fucking parents because they're gonna be raised in this fucking country. And they're gonna be breeded to believe in all the shit that their parents believed in. Owning, possessing, judging. And I said, so I'm gonna kill the children too. I'm gonna kill all of them. And then as soon as I started visualizing killing the children, I was like, oh fuck. Like you just crossed the goddamn line, Winter. I'm like, you just fucking crossed the line. So I messaged my sister and I told her that I wanted to start killing everybody in the airport, even the children. And she drove the 2.5 hours to come get me. And they brought me straight to the mental institution. And I spent 30 days in the mental institution. And they didn't want to release me, but they had to. because it was 30 days. 30 days was up. And it wasn't a long-term facility. And they had no justification to bring me to the state-run one, the life one, because I'm pretty good at convincing people that I'm safe enough to walk the streets, know how to play the game. Plus, I didn't want to go to the state-run facility because I ain't got time for that shit. I want to do other shit with my life. But when I went to the mental institution, I was like hanging out with this doctor. Me and this doctor clicked like a motherfucker. Usually the doctor only spent like 5 to 15 minutes with a patient. She only spent like 40 to 45 minutes with me. And she would always tell me so, because I was like fucking so intriguing to her. And she just enjoyed talking to me so much because I'm so good at, I'm very well versed in psychology and speech. And I told her when I was in Thailand for like 11 months, I was never depressed once. I had no anxiety. I wasn't afraid of people. So I'm like, I think what really fucks me up is America. I think this fucking country fucks me up. And she's like, maybe it does. She's like, why don't you go back? And I was like, because my family's here. I need to work on shit with them. And she's like, I don't know, man. Maybe you shouldn't. So I'm gonna think about if you got borderline or bipolar or complex PTSD. Maybe you're just in the wrong fucking country. Sorry to fuck you up with all that, like, killing children shit. I'm really fucking sorry about that shit. But they're all just gonna become like their adult parents, for the most part. Unless this country really fucking changes. Sorry to fuck you up real bad. That was a fucked up thing to say. Alright, yo. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you're doing stuff you love. And I hope you're getting better, man. Healing, for sure. Thank you so much for everything.